Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the very first episode of the Wishful podcast. My name is Jamal. I also have a guest speaker. I don't want to call him a co host, but he goes by the name of Knzo. We going to
Peace,
call him
peace,
that.
peace, 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 peace. We here, we here.
We
Shout
are
out to you,
here.
man. Yes, sir. Shout out to you, man, for allowing me to share this space with you and speak about different matters that concerns the citizens.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Oh,
Absolutely.
I also forgot to say that today's show is sponsored by business. Please mind your own business or you're going to get popped in the mouth. All right, let's get back to the
I like that sponsorship. That
show. Hey, man, I'm all for it. You got to fake it till you make it.
man crazy. I
Got to
hear
be
that. I
wishful.
understand that. I understand that. I'm with it.
So, on July 13th in Butler County, Pennsylvania,
Mm.
somebody made a quote unquote assassination attempt on former President Trump.
You sure that somebody wasn't hired?
And we don't worry, we gonna get into it. There's a lot of footage, and apparently the shooter is dead now. Someone else died in the stands. I don't know exactly what happened to them, but we don't know if it's staged or not. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna talk about that too a little bit later. A little bit later.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now, some people said they heard whizzing sounds, and the Secret Service. Well, right after the shooting, some people were saying that the bullet pierced his ear. Now, I ain't no ballistics expert, not today. If you catch me on a Friday, I could tell you about shooting some stuff, but not today. Not today.
All right.
Um, they said he was about 200 or 300 yards away, which is about 2 or 3 football fields away, and he was on top of a building. I
That's pretty
oh, okay.
nightmare right there. That sounds like a very nice plot. My goodness.
Now, just looking at the footage that they kept replaying, you don't really hear gunshots. I mean, I know they do make suppressors and stuff, and at that range, you wouldn't really hear any shots from 2 or 300.
You
'Cause
will not
I know,
hear it. You will not hear it at all. Suppressors are
con,
very silent. It
yeah,
varies between different weapons and whatnot. But if it's an AR and it's a really, really good suppressor, you is not hearing that thing, especially in the midst of a crowd. Impossible.
yeah. Now, contrary to popular, oh shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. Well, most people seem to think that if you put a suppressor, silencer, or a can on a weapon, that is completely invisible, that you can't hear it at all, which ain't true.
It's not
You
true.
know, you
Uh,
you can definitely, if you're standing near him in the
you will
woods,
hear.
you can still hear it. You can,
But if the thing about suppressors though, if it's really busy and somebody's speaking, you got music playing and whatnot, chances are it's a slim chance of hearing that. Honestly, it's like phew, it's this thing. It's a particular sound that could be muffled.
yeah,
So, but regardless of that, that's very high advanced. That is very high tech. I'll say high advanced caliber of any type of weapon and an accessory, I guess you could say. But go ahead.
now I'm only speaking on what I saw July 13th. Today is the 15th. So a lot of stuff I believe has come out. I actually logged into Twitter, and I'm sorry, X, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
Somebody said that assassination attempt was directed by Tyler Perry, and I say, you know what, I'm cool. I just logged off. Let me log off.
I mean, but honestly, though, that kind of lets you know the seriousness of this assassination during this particular time and era, right? Because here you have a former celebrity TV star who will do anything to return back into the White House. Literally anything. And as we know, as citizens of the United States of the Corporation of America, a lot of things is possible to happen. And money and staging things is not, beyond our history. Some people say 9/11 was staged, but I wasn't there. I have no idea. All we had is videos and evidence, like how you speak of. And they give us these videos and evidence to the crowd, and we just sit here and twiddle our fingers and mumble with each other about what is and what isn't. But eventually these things do come out, and as time progresses, things start to become very much evident. Like the moon landing, for instance.
Oh
I,
shit! He went to the
but
moon land.
really, but I'm just using it as a means of when the media puts something forward towards the people, it's up to the people to believe it or not. If I seen media coverage of the moon landing in today's age with the same coverage they showed us back in the '60s, I will say that it's falsified. But that is just my particular opinion. You know. But I digress.
Now you mentioned 9/11. I can say this much, and that's a different topic for a different day. I'm not an expert, but I love science. I'm definitely a let me try this out for myself.
That's
Let
right.
me look this up and look at actual terms.
Hmm.
You can look at the way that everything happened.
That's
Nine
right.
eleven was definitely, as some people say, it was an implosion. It wasn't an explosion.
Nope.
And even the
Implode.
biggest part, there were no parts of the plane found.
Exactly. My goodness. And you are no expert, sir.
No, no, not today.
Not
No,
today.
but
This is just overviewing of a video and information on the web and just looking at what, looks like a building collapsing from floor by floor by floor by floor. And I'm no professional, but I know that if I was to put dynamite in each floors,
hmm
I can see the same video playing out every single time for demolition. But I digress once again.
yeah, man. That's another video.
And it's another video, but I do say that the similarities of events kind of have a pattern, especially in the lands of America,
Hmm.
where there's a major event and people are in defense of whether it is true or if it isn't true. You know, this such not like this shouldn't be an arena of such a conversation to take place whatsoever. If such an event that happens, people should not have to sit there and wonder if it's true or not. And this is the first thing that comes to my mind when it comes to this Trump event that we're speaking of today.
Man, I I just think it's weird, and it's also kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
People say it was an attempt, and I haven't really watched the news, but they showed the guy, they showed his picture and his name on TV and everything, and I kind of stayed away from it for a reason.
Sure.
But I think it's funny that it's almost like the exact distance to say, okay, I'm going to shoot somebody, and this bullet, this projectile, will be no longer good at this distance.
Mm.
Because if he had a high powered rifle, because he wasn't far, however many yards away, he's not far. If he
Right.
had a bigger caliber, hell, not even that, just a regular 5.56, 308, anything of,
Yeah.
and where he hit Trump in the ear or like that's a straight kill shot.
That is a
But
kill shot, sir.
like
Absolutely.
that's science. That take a lot of science to say, okay, it's gonna hit him, but it's gonna pierce it's gonna scratch him. and he had a scratch on his face. Trump had a scratch on his face, and it looks like maybe one of the Secret Service people grabbed him. It looks like it's two scratches on his face. So that's the way I took it. Like somebody scratched him trying to get him down, or maybe a watch or something scratched him in his face.
Sure, sure. Some battle scars, to promote his claim to presidency. The way how I see it, battle scars are really nice. They look really, they look believable. I'll say.
And
As,
he's
as you can see, Joe, I am definitely picking a side of fabricated stage. I'm not making no room for anything else that is realistic in its manner. How else can you, have news behind your claim to presidency? This, this, this attempt of assassination. It's fiery news. It wakes the nation of quote unquote white supremacy that is backing Trump. You know, it draws them to the front and say, hey, we have to vote this guy. He survived assassination. We have to and he's representing us. We have to, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a phenomenal story. Like any claim for any presidency or kingship, you need a phenomenal story behind it. This is great. This is icing on the cake. Will it get the job done? I think it will get the job done because it's only Joe Biden who is a zombie. So, you know,
I seen that too. Um, Later that night when Biden got on TV, it was maybe 7, 8 o'clock Eastern
mm,
time, of course, and I'm looking at him, and he tried to speak like person to person to show he cares, and he called him by his first name. I'm going to check on Donald and this and that. And I'm
sure.
looking at and if we get more news, then I'll come by a little bit later tonight. And I'm looking at this man like, sir, you are about 3.5 hours past your bedtime. He
Mm,
was moving slow, and I'm like, dude,
my goodness.
stop it. You
Going
are
on.
the president. They want you out, but you know, people think voting gets the president elected. But again, we not gonna go down that hole.
Nah, we're
No,
not gonna go that road. We're not gonna say anything about that. I will remain closed lips about that subject there. But let's remain with the facade that they believe that they do pick a president. Sure. These people are just simply presidents of a corporation. You need a president, you need a vice president, you need a secretary, and and so on and so on. Like any corporations. But go ahead, Joe.
you need a face.
Yes, a manager, absolutely, that we can look up to
Yeah.
and promote democracy of America.
Damn it. We said we wasn't going down, and we starting. It's okay. We I'm writing it down.
We're
We
not
we,
going
we gonna go.
anywhere. We're just simply knocking at doors and leaving the news in front of it. We're not trying to enter or bum rush anybody's room. We're just knocking like Jehovah Witnesses and telling them about the news, whether it's good or not. It's on them. But we just deliver the news. You see what I did there, Joe? You see what I'm saying? The boy's a professional.
That's
But
funny. I got approached by a Jehovah's Witness, and I was sitting outside on my break, and she gave me a card, and that was all. She just gave me a card. She was like, "Do you have a smartphone?" And I think I still got it somewhere. It had a QR code on the backside,
oh
but
wow,
I know some people are very pushy about it. And, she just
mm,
gave me the card and just went on about her business.
that's hilarious. Insane.
um. So back to this attempt.
Mm-hmm.
I I've watched a lot of movies. I've watched a lot of documentaries.
Okay.
I also read. I
Absolutely.
know wherever the president goes, the Secret Service is going to have this place staked out. They're gonna have I'm gonna call it a counter sniper unit. I don't know what it's called or what they are called, but they are gonna be set up looking at places for snipers in particular. That's all their job is. And I'm like, you mean to tell me you can't find this one building and say, oh, we're gonna have somebody just looking over here just in case?
Hmm.
But Secret Service not you're not gonna interview them.
No interviews whatsoever. You are right. They do stake out the place. They know exactly what's happening. They know the schedule of the president. They know the facility, the staff. They have access to all of that information prior to getting there. So it just goes back to the one single thing. Same thing with the JFK assassination. This was a very popular president with the people, particularly colored people, and the things that he had queued up and what he wanted to do for America
Colored
was
people?
absolutely JFK. Yeah, he had some things queued up for the colored people. He had
Oh,
some things going on with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. Absolutely. There were particular policies that were set to be in place, but his assassination happened, and those policies became on hold. You know, and they got rid of him. But this is, of course, in the CIA file. I'm not speaking out of judgment or out of conspiracy. They put the files online to let them know that this is a CIA operation that happened. But yeah, pretty interesting. So
and
I
they
say that to
also
say,
know that a certain race of people will not read or look for those files either.
that's very true.
Mhm.
Absolutely, absolutely, it's very true. Yeah, but they are available online. You know, but I was saying that I only mentioned that because if the United States of America wants something to happen, it will happen
Mhm.
without fail, without conveniency, without much. So if those CIA, they know everything. Let's just say that they know everything, and as they should, and nothing doesn't happen without their say.
Nope. They they showed a witness, and
Mm,
I think it's a few more that have come forward.
okay,
This witness, and it's funny. I'm mad I didn't catch his name. They she at the reporter asked him his name. He said it just once. The fact that it, of course, you could find it looped and looped. I'm pretty sure they're gonna cut that part out. But
sure.
he said his name, and he said he saw the shooter, and he told the police. So it was more than one person that said, "Hey, there's somebody climbing on top of this building over there." And they told the police, and the witnesses kind of made it seem like they were not really nonchalant, but they were like, "Okay, okay, like okay." All right.
All right.
Then it went on to the police was looking for the person. Now, my whole thing, and of course, it came out. There's this building, and when you secured the area, you didn't see him. So I feel like the guy knew that Trump was going to speak at whatever time he was going to speak. That's 6:30, I think. The guy may have been behind the building. He's white. He probably was smoking a Camel or a Marlboro or two or three of those, and he had his ladder. Okay, I'm going to wait, and then he climbed up there. He had to
Hmm.
because he wasn't in place because they showed it. I'm like, yeah, you can't. It's just a flat roof with a little ventilation thing in the middle. So, and the other thing I was waiting on. This is 2024. Everybody has camera phones
That's
and
right.
everybody's recording.
That's
Somebody's gonna
right.
say, let me just record the ambiance and just everything else and just record. Oh, hey, it's a guy on the roof over there, and
Right.
not thinking it that's come out too.
Uh huh.
But I wasn't worried about it because I know it was. I was just waiting on people to upload it all over, and again, Twitter just took over it. That's funny.
Of course, and I'm betting you that upload is probably in 480 frames per second, probably.
I don't know. It might have some AI technology on it now.
Most likely, I'm pretty sure they do. I'm just saying that the video qualities are never up to par. You know, when
Nope.
these events always happen for some reason. You know, my phone records 4K, phenomenal. But I'm betting when these people get these footage, they purposely downgrade the audio and the video, of course, to give the people what we see. But I'm not a lawyer. I'm not on a case, and I don't have access to footage. I can't see if they're ever HD crispy at first and then compressed later. I don't know these information. I have no idea. But I do know that every single time these videos are released to the public, they are extremely blurry. 480 to 720 maximum quality. It's quite fascinating how that always happens.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, sir.
I I don't know if there's any footage of the Secret Service what's the word they use, unaliving this person. That's weird saying that. I don't know if there's footage of it, but
Unaliving.
the
Wild, Joe. I ain't gonna lie to you. Oh, smokes.
the loop that they kept showing was he's speaking, and then he reached for his ear, and it looked like he said, "Huh?" Like, wait, what? And then he kind of ducked, like he looked, and then he ducked down. And I'm looking at the crowd because, again, you know gunshots. They kind of sound like firecrackers, but they don't, because firecrackers gonna have a certain cadence to them. Gunshots are gonna have a certain cadence to them as well.
Absolutely. It's a bit much more louder due to the impact in a firecracker, whereas the firecracker has a particular frequency to it that is not similar to a gunshot, but I can see why people would confuse it for a gunshot. It's one of those things, if you're around gunshots all the time, then you know the difference, what I'm saying, like immediately, opposed to having to, figure it out or wonder if it is a gunshot or not, But I heard the video, I saw the audio, and it sounded like a firecracker. I'm not going to be honest. I mean, I'm going to be honest. It didn't sound like it is like a full fledged gunshot to me. Um,
Hmm.
I went to fire range. I fire guns. I'm looking to purchase a couple, and it didn't sound like that according to the audio that I heard. But hey, it's what it is.
Okay. I the other thing, again, maybe they were just waiting for people to upload their videos or go home, or maybe I don't know what happens at a scene like that. I don't know if, hey, somebody just tried to assassinate the former president. Let's not let anyone go. Let's keep them for 2 and 3 hours. Let's interrogate everybody. I don't know. Maybe they just let everybody go. But again, somebody had to have some kind of footage of, wait, the guys with the sunglasses and the suits, they're shooting in that direction or shot in that direction.
Oh man, I tell you what, in a normal society, I think you do have that, Joe. I think you really very much do have this video audio recording in a normal society, in a normal setting, with normal people. But unfortunately, this is not a normal scenario. This is Donald Trump here, ex-President Donald Trump here we're speaking about, and who has a facility and area to himself. I have no idea if these people are a part of this play. I have no idea. All I see is what I see on the TV,
Yeah, what they
and
want us to see.
pretty much, Pretty much, you just took the words right out of my mouth, And what I know from the TV sake is that what's on TV it's planned, and heavily directed and heavily edited and processed, right? Even if it's live, I've seen BET and all that is staged and rehearsed countless of times. Any Emmy award videos, whatever, they're rehearsed countless of times and edited countless of times. Yeah. Who is to say that these presidencies is not the same or any different? And I'm going to jump the gun and say that it's not the same because, as the infamous Shakespeare once said, the world is a stage, everybody has their entrance, and everybody has their exits. You see, especially when it comes to politics, especially with politics, because the whole point is to win your votes. And what does it mean to cast votes? That's a whole different thing. I'm not gonna go there. But concerning with politics, I have to win you over by any means necessary. And with the tools of today, that is via media. So it's what it is currently. And this is what I'm presenting to the audience, of course. My personal opinion, but you are the judge.
As per usual, election year, something always happened. Last time it was COVID and
Ah,
buildings and stuff got blew up in Memphis, which was found out later to be um, a place that had polling equipment. This
really?
year, I've I need to find out where I can read it, but I want to read this Project 2025 or 2024.
I'm sure it's
Yeah,
online.
Project 2025.
2025. I'm pretty sure it's online somewhere. I myself have heard of it, but I haven't paid too much attention to it. Um, I think people are paying too much attention to it and giving too much energy towards it. And you know how it goes. I'm a very spiritual person. When you put energy towards something, essentially you're manifesting it. So normally how it goes. But I myself have not looked deeply into it, but I like to look into it and see what the objective is and what is the concerns of, I guess you can say.
I think you should. I got on TikTok and I got the TLDR, the too long didn't read version
Mm,
of it, and a lot of people made videos about it. And if it does come into fruition, it's not really going to be a good thing because a lot of things are going to be taken away
mm,
from children as far as funding. I think one of the biggest things is they're talking about cutting the shit. I don't want to quote nothing, but I think it's something like they're going to get rid of the funding for the education. Like,
really?
so yeah, it's a real big deal.
That's interesting.
And again, we all know smoke and mirrors. What happened Saturday was, hey, we got flying elephants. While all of a sudden, this these flying elephants that they have is going to go on. I can almost guarantee you. Let me see. It's Monday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. This is going to go on again till about Saturday, for about a good 7 to 8 days before everything goes back to normal, and something is passed or something goes on that they didn't want us to see. And we all know that's always how it is.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's normally how it goes. A distraction for another distraction. But as the saying goes, all things that is done in the dark will come up in the light, right? So, hey, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see.
But
But there's no
even
question that the America is a failing empire and it's falling. So these presidents kind of have to up their game on keeping the people in check because it's only a matter of time until the people are sick of these games and the quote unquote civil war, breaks out. But hey, we'll see what happens.
But are they? Despite all the foolishness that has happened with Trump, people still back him.
Well, yeah, because again, I keep hitting this out. White supremacy. This is who Trump represents for the people who don't have a noble family, for the people who are not billionaires or not millionaires. Trump is speaking for those people who are making minimum wage like the rest of us, right? Who are below the tax bracket and are contributing to a great deal of taxes. This is who Trump really represents. And it is these particular people who are rallying behind him, you know, and giving him power and feeding him power, besides the fact of what's happening. And then also, who is Trump's opponent? You have Biden. You know what I'm saying? So your choice is kind of given to you almost in a way. Like I have no choice in the matter. It's almost kind of ordained or given to the people. Same thing when Obama first came for presidency. That was kind of a given. All the black people are going to come out the woodwork, regardless of what Obama represented. He looked like a black person, so all the black people were going to come out of the woodwork and vote for him, no matter what. And that happened twice, right? So this is the same example. I can use that same example for Trump, But hey,
Man, I hate, and I knew it wasn't gonna happen, and I'm
mm,
not mad at him. Um, Cornell West, Doctor West, I
uh,
know he's running for president, but we all know how that was gonna turn out.
this is true. I also heard of JFK Jr. running for president. Did you see that?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I had to look at it like, wait a minute,
yeah,
who's all these people?
yeah. But again, these other people don't really get the light shine upon them because Democrat and Republican, same people. They're just trying to make sure that nobody else do gain power. But forbid, imagine, Joe, imagine Black Panther Party, yeah, and we actually have an intelligent black brother or a black queen on the mantle giving it to these politicians. Would you imagine a world like that?
Hmm.
A party that is separated from the Republicans and the Democratic, but a very independent party, and the people know enough information about them to put them on the ballot. Wow, that'd be powerful. That would cripple the government immediately. And the powers that be behind the scenes would have to show themselves immediately. Or they might just get that president assassinated. I don't know.
Well, they, I wouldn't say assassinated, but we all know it's a business also,
That's right.
and they might make it seem as if he's failing.
Mm,
So they may do something worse than assassination. It could be, oh, he failed as a president because we know China and Russia, they're becoming buddies, and whatever's going on with them over there,
right.
that could become an issue. And oh well, the president failed to realize that was going on, and that could be an issue. And oh, they just let the United States just get punched on and or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. That is a growing concern for sure. That That's like concerning with BRICS. You know, that's dealing with BRICS with Brazil, China, Russia, South America, India coming together and trying to overthrow the world, currency, which is the U.S. dollar and the British pound. Right? These
Hmm.
things are being thrown over and toppled as we speak. But my concerns is that the vast public do not know about these illusions, well, of these arrangements that are happening behind the scenes. You know, what happens to the U.S. dollar? You know, our food prices are still going up. Our rent is still going up. Everything is still going up, which is our signs of a failing and falling empire. So people grab your guns, get your money in cash right, and grow your farms. Things are coming. Things are happening. Pay attention,
Yeah, I mean, 40 acres and a mule.
man. That is down the trash can 100 years ago. Give me an acre. I'm good with that. Give me a tax-free acre. I'll make that work.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah, but with all this doom talk, I do still see hope because the government is now throwing its own people in the fire, and as a person of color, we're used to the heat. Hell, we got loopholes in this heat. So when these people come into the heat, we will show them how to operate, and that right there will shine light to unity, and knock down the walls and tools and devices of racism and feminism and masculinity and all these other tools or devices to keep the people from working together. I think this is leading down to a road where it's inevitable that the people will come back and work together in unity and have power back, and be much more careful of giving it away to an entity that declares on using this power to protect the people when we know that is not the case. All around the world, all around the globe we go, there are these entities that have the vast control of the wealth and resources where that should belong to the people. And oftentimes, this is like a cycle that continues to keep happening until it breaks. I think we are coming to the end of that finish line of breaking the cycle and starting anew. And this anew will be fomented in the foundations of unity. Very optimistic, Joe, but what do you think?
I don't know, man. It's it's unity will happen. I don't think we'll see it in our lifetime.
Hmm,
It's it's still too much going on. There's still too much at play. You
absolutely.
still have the oligarchs. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Oligarchs.
You have these people that I don't think they have faces. They just have so much money, and it's only a handful of them that just control everything.
That's right. Particular
You
families.
you don't really hear about it too often, but it's so much stuff. In order for us to go forward, we have to go back,
Hmm,
and the whole deep depopulation thing
hmm.
that went on like um it's not NATO, it's the other one. It's the
Who?
United something,
Who?
United Nations.
Oh, United Nations. Okay.
And this was like in the 70s that
Yeah,
they and it was supposed to take place like now, or just it's getting there, the whole depopulation thing, because people, if you remember, people was talking about that the world the world is overpopulated, and but no, it's not.
it's not. It's not
No.
at all. No, stop it. Stop it. I believe the program that you're alluding to is called the eugenics program, where they try to sterilize people chemically and using DNAs and all type of other measures to keep a cap of the population. And the world is definitely not overpopulated at all. What's overpopulated are the university hubs that they created, the artificial city hubs that they want to put people in. Because forbid that you are out of middle of nowhere in some land doing your own little thing and prospering without the government. Forbid. Because when I'm traveling between states, I'm about to reveal my location. When I'm traveling between Cincinnati and Kentucky, I see nothing but open land, vast land, farmable land, you
Hmm.
know? And I see no civilization. I see no people. I see plenty full of wildlife, maybe a river, you know? I see no population issues over there. But when I return back into the city after my drive, it is densely overpopulated in a particular area, you see. When I travel the world, Canada, Haiti, I see abundance of land, abundance of resources, abundance of farmland, abundance of people. That is a community, that is a gathering places, that is a spot for resources and many of different things to happen. Once upon a time, the world once operated like this, you know. But now somebody is telling us that the world's populated and they want to de-sterilize the people, and the people are sitting here and listening to it. It's quite insane.
It's in where is this? Is it New Mexico?
Hmm.
Where is this? But it's a thing called the Earthship, and the Earthship is pretty. It's it's off grid.
Is that the community that's like building things out of nowhere, right?
They have a community.
Exactly. I've heard of this.
Where are they?
You
I'm
said
trying to
New
look it up.
Mexico. I believe you're absolutely right. It's kind of like a desert type place,
Yeah,
Arizona maybe. I know what you're talking about. They're making earth homes and building a community out of earth homes and resources that are not like everyday usage, but they're trying to make a use of it. I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
but
Hmm.
I think it's funny that you you can make something that's off grid. You can filter your own water. You can recycle. It's basically giving people the right to say, "Hey, leave me alone. I'm here, but I'm not here. I'm not going to let you charge me an exorbitant amount for electricity, water, or any other utility." And I mean, if it was legal, because I don't think it's legal everywhere. If I would definitely do it.
I would
I
too.
watched the videos, and it's
Yep.
I'm not gonna say it's not that hard. It's labor intensive with some of the things, but I think it also depends where you live, because they are in kind of a desert climate, and their temperatures are different, and
Sure.
the terrain is flat, whereas other places, Midwest may be kind of mountain, not mountainous, but hilly.
Sure.
But I 100% will want to live off the grid. That's always been a thing
Hundred
for me.
percent. 100%. For me, easily one of the reasons why is because any work that is being done on that land would be work done for me and my family, not for another man. Not putting money into another person's pocket, not wasting my time doing something that is not important, not building up myself or giving myself lessons or whatnot. If I live in a community and the community needs to build a house, I'm learning to build a house. I'm learning so many things. I'm putting so many skills under my tool belt. having experience with the people, and it's my own energy that is being recycled back in a manner that I am satisfied, right? Not in a capitalistic world. So 100%, anything that is self-sufficient, anything that is to do with self, an abundance of gratitude will be met automatically. I say, to be honest, because yeah, like you are prospering for self and those around you. So why not work as hard as you can? That is so easy. If you don't have something built in a particular amount of time, it's because it's your fault. You know what I'm saying? So I think that responsibility of returning back to me also gives of a sign of dignity as well too. I mean, there's so many ways to say this, but I'm pretty sure you understand what I'm saying.
I do. And the people in those communities, and I think it's something we need to do or get back to. They have a barter system,
That's right.
and I know a lot of people have forgotten about that. Hey, you have apples, I got bananas.
Yep.
Let's do a little something. Let's trade. You
That's
got to charge
right.
the price.
That's right. This is your original currency. I spent a ton amount of energy growing apples for this particular harvest. You spent a tremendous amount of energy growing, pumpkins for this particular harvest. I happen to be in need of pumpkins, and you happen to be in need of apples. Let's exchange our energy for what we have grown for the harvest and be satisfied. This is a very easy bartering system. Not when I manipulate people and get abundance of cash, particular material that is called a fiat, which relies on the belief of the people for it to be a replacement of actual goods and material that is worth value instead of paper. You know what I'm saying? So like we've been bamboozled, we've been tricked. You know, we were in a coma of some sort, fell asleep, and somebody woke us up, and it wasn't our God, it was somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And that led to the creation of what we have currently now in this world.
Yeah, everybody want to profit something. It's,
Everybody want to profit. Everybody want to, come up, make money. You remove profit, you solve a lot of issues in this world. Just removing profit, you will know a lot of people's heart. You'll know if somebody's actually pure. You'll know if somebody's not trying to get one on you, or you'll know so much things. Because if I'm doing something for somebody, I want something in return. But if I'm doing something out of kindness of my heart, there is nothing to the gain but knowing that I did something good. You know,
yeah.
it's quite interesting.
Well, you have anything else you would like to add? We're
Man, look,
almost 50 minutes in.
I I said it in the beginning. I'll say it at the end. Because of the experience of this poet that's named Shakespeare, he saw it that his saying be something of great importance, which was the world is a stage. Everybody has their entrance, everybody has their exits. And he said this saying because of his experience and with his status. I would assume that this was a wealthy person and he was around royal people. And around the people that he was around, he saw a lot of fakeness. He saw a lot of people hiding their true intentions, all for the purpose of gaining something, gaining monumental value, gaining something, which is back to for profit, which, I come back to again. You remove profit, a good amount of 80 to 70% of issues in the world is removed as well, right? Because if there's nothing for me to gain from you, I have no need to use you, and therefore I would have to be genuine first. My best foot comes out first all the time. In a perfect world, but this is not the world that we live in, unfortunately. And so things are for profit. and so people's intentions come in question. And so, with the same question, everybody would have to question everything that you see, everything that you hear, and even everything that you feel. Because transgenders can now look beautiful. Oh, and I ended with that.
Yeah, that's. Hold on, let me write that down. That's another one too.
That is another one, sir. That is another one. That is a whole different type of topic of discussion that needs to be saved for another episode because there are some very truth and then there's opinions. Unfortunately, people confuse the two, same as facts and opinions or fiction. The world has confused the two and has allowed a gray area to exist. And when the gray area exists, people have no idea what is what, and confusion grows. You know? The world is quite simple. It's either a right or a wrong. It's either left or right. It's either masculine or feminine.
Mm-hmm.
Two
Either
choices.
or.
Either or. There is no middle ground. There is no gray area. I know 50 Shades of Gray. No, no, no. It's either black or white. It's quite simple in the natural world. I don't know about your world, but in the natural world, there is two ways of doing things. And we like to keep it as such, with no complications.
Okay, so we made it to 50,
We made it
50
to 50, sir.
minutes. We
Absolutely. No, this was tight. This was fun. I didn't think I had I didn't think I had a lot to say.
I kept trying to tell you. We
I mean,
will end episode 1, and don't forget, today's sponsor is business.
business.
Mind your own business, and if you start minding somebody else's business, you might get popped in the mouth.
Yikes. You hear that from me this time.
You say, "Yikes!"
That was Joe. That was Joe Marr. That wasn't me. I'm all about violence, but that wasn't me. It's
All right,
been a
let's
pleasure.